message called Dad. I'm in the emergency room. I haven't been released yet. I got pneumonia. It's one problem. And I got another problem I don't remember. Call me. Bye.
So colorful. No, there you go.
You like that one?
Yeah, I like that one. That looked like your father's files.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Looks like his piles of books and files.
And I just wonder, where did all this stuff come from?
Where did it all come from?
It's like its own burial ground of stuff. Crap.
Yeah, so much stuff. Oh my God.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy, it's sad.
Up some stuff, looking for some stuff.
Trying to organize?
Yeah.
You want me to help you?
Yeah.
You didn't find what you wanted? Yeah, what are you doing?
Cleaning up some stuff.
Were you looking for the Social Security statement? Trying to organize? What are you looking for now? What are you looking for now?
I'm just looking through the stuff.
What are you looking for now?
I'm just looking through the stuff.
This is all of his tax stuff from all the restaurants. So we should keep that, huh? Guess so. It's hard to know what to do with all this stuff.
There's a whole storage unit downstairs, too.
Okay, so she's this very over the top, full of life person. 3 months, one day she goes, kind of getting some pain in my leg. The next day, 3 months later, almost to the day, she's dead. And immediately, the family falls apart. And what they're fighting about is not only who owns her legacy, who she loved the most, who deserves to get the most from her, but of course, how to divide everything she left behind. Most of it's not worth anything except sentimentally. But, in come these lawyers, and everything gets a price tag, and everything has to be assessed, and everything has to, God, everything has to have somebody come and price it. And eventually, for whatever reason, it all goes into my apartment. And I was the one who, for whatever reason, gets the job of putting it all in storage.
Well, I was curious, did you unravel or was anything revealed about your mother you didn't know after going through her stuff?
Yes, it was. Actually, I went through lots of boxes. I don't know if I have pictures of them here. That's going to a supermarket. It's more of a burial ground, right? I went to, that's a picture of me my mom did when I was a kid. I somehow became the person who was responsible for clearing out the house, and I went every day for probably a month or two, and it was that was really taxing work. And I just boxed and boxed and boxed up letters and pulled out everything. And like I had said, the house was lived in for 55 years, and I found all these boxes that were letters, and that both my father, who had died in '93, and my mother had saved. Letters either written to each other or to others, or that they had gotten from others, but it was surprising to me that they had saved them. Like, I don't know who they were saving them for, if they were saving them for themselves to read, or if they were hoping somebody would find them, or if they couldn't get rid of that memory themselves. There was a letter that my father, who came from Russia and didn't know much English when he came here, and he wrote a letter at the age of 19 when he first got here to the New York Times in answer to an ad, because I guess you responded to the Times, not to the place, like answer the ad here. And he wrote a letter asking for a job to be a delivery boy. And he kept the draft where he crossed out the words and tried to work out his English. And it was, I mean, it just burst into tears, because I thought, what made him decide to keep that? A letter asking for a job delivering paper or Coca-Cola, and trying to get the letter just right, from like the 40s. Yeah. And there was a letter he was in the army, letters from him from Japan to a girlfriend. I don't know how it got back in his hand. And then a letter from my mother to my father, pissed off at him because he wasn't writing her enough. What's that about? And my mother, the weirdest thing is that she told me she was writing her autobiography, an autobiographical novel, and I used to make fun of her, say it was the worst book ever written, but she had it was in a box, and it's all typed up, and it's, probably 200 pages, and it was there for somebody to find.
Have you read it?
I started to read it. I mean, I feel bad because I do think, she's no Dostoevsky. She's not the greatest writer. But what I'm curious is how much she's making up. How much of it's true and how much of it's not true. Like, she grew up for a while in Romania, and she talks about the King Carol, coming to their school, and she saw him in close-up, and she said he was so ugly, and he had these big freckles on his face, and she couldn't believe that this was the king. But it was such a specific image. But then some of the stuff that she remembers, I thought with my own writing, and I'm supposedly writing an autobiography, and I'm making half the stuff up. I'm wondering if she made half the stuff up. But yeah, I mean, it's just, they were just scraps and scraps piled there in these boxes that, smell of mold and must. And I'm wondering, was she hoping to come back to it someday? Did she not want to get rid of it? Could she not get rid of it? Now they're all in my storage unit. Are they going to all stay there for another 20 years? Because I think I'm going to get to it someday. But you do wonder if they leave it on purpose.
Reread what she thinks about death.
I mean, I don't think this stuff should be thrown out.
You've never
and
read
yet
it?
I'm not sure what to do with it. Where does a person's past go? You can't. Not everybody gets into a museum. Not everybody's on the walls of a house.
Yeah.
The rest of this is probably still
She
back in
probably
Jersey.
wasn't scared.
Probably right. Ask me something else.
Stop.
The rest of this probably in Jersey.
Why? This is that. What about?
My
Look at all these papers here.
Oh, these are just all sorts of papers that I'm working on over all sorts of other things. My own stupid problems, that was, I grabbed just a group of papers. I said, I'll start reading this, And I knew about this book. And I mean, as I said, I was very, not very nice about it. I was like, she can't write. But
She can.
yeah, she can. She really can.
How old was she when her mother died?
13. I really got to get back to that storage unit and find this stuff. Can you believe it just ended right there?
No. Well, what's the next? What page is that? 14.
Because now she was working on my father's autobiography.
I love it.
That's hysterical. She's like this great writer, like, So she had a friend over, one of my father's, one of the guys who survived from the town, and he's talking about the Nazis coming into the Polish town and taking it over. First the communists come in. I don't understand that. Oh, I do understand that, okay. Oy, okay. When I could not walk, my feet hurt. Where does the train stop? I went by foot. The same mud. There was a frost. We came from Brisk. It was 7:30 in the morning. We got out and walked. Some of the ground was frozen, so we were able to walk on the mud. That's the only time one could walk, when the ground froze over the mud. It was cold. I guess they were the Jews being walked out of town. My name is Chaim Kitchen. I am a guest in the home of Arnold Pallingston, my childhood friend. I have not seen him for 53 years. With great feeling, very big emotion, we met at this airport. How do you call it? Newark. We met there. Unbelievable that we met. And I will start the story.
Is this your dad?
This is my mother, apparently. He was talking and she was transcribing it. I will start from the moment we separated. I'll begin from the moment we separated at Antopol Railroad Station. He went very far away to America and I remained in Antopol. That was in the spring of 1939. We lived a normal life for Poland until September 1939. I was working and I thought about going to America. On the 1st of September 1939, the Germans invaded Poland and they besieged it. The Russians made a pact with the Germans. The Soviets made a decision that up to Brisk, Poland will belong to the Germans, and from Brisk to Misrach will belong to the Russians. Thus, the communist Russians arrived in my town in September 1939. With the invasion of the Russians, they began to dissemble the town and turn it to the advantage of the communists. They confiscated all of the Jewish homes. They confiscated the business areas of the town and made ateliers, like workshops. I began to work in a Russian office, which was called Rai Petrop Siwas. My position was to be a manager. There were very few literate Poles who could read and write. The Jews mostly were self-educated and literate. I worked there as a manager for 2 years. On the 1st of June 1941, I arrived home in Brisk rather late by bus and went to bed. And now I have to find page 2. This is heavy shit.
Seriously. Did you not know about all this?
No, I did not.
He never talked about it?
No, I did not know about this until this very second.
Oh my gosh.
How crazy is that?
Crazy.
How crazy is that?
Did you ask him about that time
He
period?
wouldn't talk about, I think
Yeah.
he said I do not talk about that. This is just a little part more of my mother's book, autobiography. Being one of 5 Jewish girls in a school that contained 400 girls was not easy for me. I could not keep up with the physical activities and I was outnumbered in any debate. But I knew that if I kept my mouth shut and I observed all the rules and all the regulations with great precision, I would get the education that I longed for. I wish I had, I really wasted a whole lifetime of not asking and not reading this.
Okay. You need to stop right now and not do that to yourself.
Okay,
Why don't you use this in your writing?
I'm going to. I have to get back to that storage unit and find the rest of this book.
Okay, but don't. Maybe it's
Her
about
party is much nicer than Harriet's.
incorporating this into.
We play spin the bottle and I get to kiss Frankie. He is disgusting. He's the most disgusting of all the people I know. But now he is a good friend. He keeps asking me if I love him. Mama keeps complaining about the pain under her heart. She died, by the way. Looked like not soon after this. She is home from work with a heating pad. I've never read this, my God. She asks me to get her tea. This is the first time she's asked me to do something for her. I had a fight with all my friends. I did not go away on vacation. I have nothing to do. I would like to draw and paint, but there are no materials for me. Mira, my sister, hates me. She wishes she could stay home instead of working at that factory. My life is not for this country. I am so lonely and so unhappy. No one seems to understand me. I write to write here, but I have to write. I'm good in school. I will go to a good high school. September 10th, 1941, my mother, my dearest and sweetest of all, has departed from this world into an unknown universe. A universe where everything is good and everything is colored in blue. A universe where stars and suns shine all the time and where flowers grow summer and winter. A place where there is peace and no war. The night before she died, she told me that she was feeling very bad, but she said, "Go to sleep." My room was on the other end of hers. I slept very well, but I had a lot of nightmares. I dreamt that a young man with a hat entered through a window and left the whole house. I said, I'll start reading this, you know. I knew about this book, and I mean, as I said, I was very, not very nice about it. I was like, yeah, she can't write. But she comes to the house to give me homework. I have to write out all the states on America. She also gives me a list of books to get from the library.
Do you want me to read it to you? Or start reading?
Tolstoy, Jonathan Swift, James Baldwin, Charles Dickens, Gogol. It's page 8. Where's page 9? Jacqueline, isn't that funny? Page 9 is suddenly... Well, some here somewhere. But isn't that weird? All of a sudden page 9 is gone.
I think this is time you read it. Especially that part about her mother.
Really? How crazy! How crazy is that?
You've never read this?
No! Never.
Maybe this will help you move on if you read what she thinks about death. And that's
very smart. The rest of this is probably still back in Jersey. Probably right. The rest of it is probably in New Jersey.
right. Look at all these papers here.
Oh, this is just all sorts of papers that I'm working on over all sorts of other things. My own stupid problems, you know. That was I grabbed just a group of papers. I said I'll start reading this, you know. And I knew about this book, and I mean, as I said, I was very not very nice about it. I was like, yeah, she can't write, but
She can.
She can. She really can.
How old was she when her mother died?
13. I really got to get back to that storage unit and find this stuff. Can you believe it just ended right there?
No. Well, what's the next? What page is that? 14.
Just know she was working on my father's autobiography.
I love it.
That's hysterical. She's like this great writer, like. So she had a friend over, one of my father's, one of the guys who survived from the town, and he's talking about the Nazis coming into the Polish town and taking it over. First, the communists come in. I don't understand that. Oh, I do understand that. Okay. Oy, okay. When the I could not walk. My feet
Had
hurt.
it.
Where
It was
does
in a
the train
box,
stop?
and it's all typed up, and it's
I went
probably
by
200
foot.
pages.
The same
And
mud. There was the
it was
frost.
there for somebody to
It came from
find.
Brisk. It was
Have you read
7:30 in the morning.
I started
We
to
got out
read
and
it. I mean, I feel bad because I do
Some of the
think,
ground was
she's
frozen,
no
so we were
Dostoevsky.
able
She's
to
not the
walk on
greatest
mud.
writer.
That's the only
But
time we
what
could
I'm
walk when
curious
the
is how
ground
much
froze
she's
over the
making
mud.
up.
It was cold.
How much of it's true and how much of it's not
I
true.
guess they were the
Like
Jews being worked
she
out
grew
of
up for a
town.
while in Romania, and she talks about the King Carol coming to their school,
My name
and she
is
saw him in
Chaim
close up, and
Kitchen.
she said
I am a guest in the home of Arnold Pallingston, my childhood friend. I have not seen him for 53 years. With great feeling and very big emotion, we met at this airport. How do you call it? Newark. We met there. Unbelievable that we met. And I will start the story.
Is this your dad?
This is my mother. Apparently he was talking and she was transcribing it. I will start from the moment from we separated. I'll begin from the moment we separated at Antopol Railroad Station. He went very far away to America, and I remained in Antopol. That was in the spring of 1939.